Now, I'm going to use the screen recording to show you how we can actually record in green screen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up to the top right of my screen and I'm going to click on the plus to create a new project. I'm going to create my new project. Now, once I go in and I create a new project, I can click plus on any one of my layers and it gives me a bunch of options on the content that I want to insert. I can go and I can use photos and videos. I can also use the camera right from my screen, and I can open up the prop library in the doing folder. For this case, I'm going to actually add the camera to my middle screen, which will turn on the camera, and here I am. Now that I've done that, I'm going to click done, and I'm going to go. I want to put myself in a different background. So I can choose any type of different background I want. And I'm going to go to photos that I already have collected. So a couple things here is I can actually put myself in ancient Rome. Now, if I do that, what I'm actually going to want to do is stretch out how long this goes if I'm going to record using it. Because I'm probably going to want this to last a little bit longer than, 5 seconds. I'd go back to right where I wanted my recording to start, and now I'm going to click on record video right up here. The only other issue that I have is if you see my screen right now, I actually don't have a green screen, and that's one of the nice parts about doing is the fact that I don't need to have a green screen. So if I realize because that I have a blue screen that I want to get rid of that blue screen and I want to see that ancient Rome on there, I can go right down here to where there's that little wheel, and I'm going to click on that, and I already have the chroma key enabled. So right over there, I can see it's enabled, but it's enabled for green. I don't need to have green as my color. I can actually go over and I can slide this little wheel over right here and change my color. Now you'll see as I change that color that it goes and it is going to shift it. All these little gray checks right here, they mean that they're taking that color right out. The only problem is because it's got that gray and there's some blue and gray, I may have to turn my sensitivity down just a hair. And now you can see that my shirt's showing through just fine. It's not going to give a little x-ray of my system. But I can now click done, and it's going to put me right into the gladiator arena, right into ancient Rome. Now if I want that, I'm going to go right up to where it says record video, and I'm going to record. I can talk about 3, 2, 1. I can talk about how grueling the gladiator fights were. I can say, oh my gosh, look at what happened. They made people fight for sport. Yada, yada, yada. Shish kumbah. Go in, and I can choose preview your video. About 3, 2, 1. I can talk about how grueling. And I can talk about what I'm actually going to see. I can say, oh my gosh, look at what happened. Now, they made people fight for sport. Save the camera roll. I always will have the same setup in there. It saves the video into the camera roll. But I can use this for many different reasons. I can take it, I can delete a background out of it, and I can actually go in and I can insert another image, and I can go and put myself on an African savanna. Talk about what life is like on an African savanna. A lot of people think about doing and they go, well, it's great because I can put different settings in and stuff like that. But I can also put in settings from books, and I can also put things like scientific models. Now, if you look, my scientific model right here is a little blurry because of all the blue in the scientific model. But what I can do here is I can click on it, click on my little color wheel again. Excuse me, I got to click on my camera, click on the color wheel, and I have to adjust it to blue because it went back to green. It automatically goes to green screen, but look at how much better that looks, and it's not as fuzzy. I could still keep messing around with that to make it look even better. But that's the big thing that I want to do is I'm using green screen. Now we're going to give everybody a little time to go in and use green screen right now. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.